What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires, and this is one of the crazier stories I've covered as it pertains to Spider-Man news in the last couple of years, especially since we're just starting to figure out what's going on between Sony's Spider-Verse and the MCU. Aaron Taylor Johnson, yes, the same actor who played Quicksilver in Marvel's Age of Ultron, to play Spider-Man villain Kraven the Hunter in the upcoming solo movie. What's more, we actually got a release date. We're going to break down everything in this breaking article from the Wrap within the last hour, what it says about this casting, of course, what the release date is for this solo Kraven film, and then sort of speculate how in the world Sony's going to try to tie this into eventually some sort of Spider-Man. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5, now at 900,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions every Friday while the shows are live, and we're giving away a brand new giveaway when Loki goes live in just a couple of weeks. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So again, this breaking within the last hour from TheWrap.com. Again, under the headline, Aaron Taylor Johnson to play Spider-Man villain Kraven the Hunter in solo movie. J.C. Chandor is directing the film, and it is set to release January of 2023. It goes on to report, quote, Aaron Taylor Johnson has nabbed the lead role as Kraven the Hunter in Sony's Marvel film, the studio announced Wednesday. The studio also locked the actor in for multiple pictures as the iconic Spider-Man villain. J.C. Chandor is directing Kraven the Hunter, and the project is being billed as the next chapter of Sony's universe of Marvel licensed characters. Then goes on to talk about who's producing, writing the screenplay, and then explain Kraven the Hunter. A lot of people here at the channel know this villain well. I'd rather speculate as to what's going on with Aaron Taylor Johnson, multiple films, the Sony universe that has Morbius, 2 Venom films, Carnage, but still no sign of Spider-Man. Now, if we can leave all of the Spider-Verse rumors aside about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man coming back, Tobey Maguire, linking that up with the image that we saw in the Morbius trailer, and assuming that maybe that's the Spider-Man eventually they're crossing over, it's going to be very difficult to ask the rest of us to suspend disbelief if they were eventually ever going to cross over Tom Holland's Spider-Man, who coexists in the same universe that Aaron Taylor Johnson was Quicksilver all the way back in Age of Ultron. Now, I know that's long before Tom Holland's Peter Parker joined the MCU, that they're nowhere on screen together, but for keeping canon's sake, some sort of continuity. And yes, I know there are going to be some people in the comments who immediately jump to say, well, hey, Gemma Chan was in Captain Marvel, and now she's playing a lead in the Eternals. So yes, can one actor carry 2 roles in the MCU? It's been done, but not of this sort of lead quality. It's not Quicksilver and Kraven the Hunter, 2 names. Of course, there's going to be some other people in the comments who are about to say, yeah, well, if Josh Brolin keeps the role of Cable, which we've heard he might in Deadpool 3 or Deadpool 1, depending on whatever they're calling it, then yes, he would be 2 major lead roles in Thanos and Cable, but at least one of them was CGI. My point is, it's going to be hard to suspend disbelief if we know that Tom Holland comes from an MCU where Aaron Taylor Johnson played Quicksilver, Wanda's brother, and she's still very prominent in the MCU. This sort of makes me think, and maybe a nail in the coffin, that yes, they will cross over with the MCU only when the multiverse wants to allow them to, and that Sony's Spider-Verse is something independent. But that really raises the question, and we have to talk about it. What is their eventual plan that now they'll have 2 Venom movies, a Morbius movie, a Kraven movie, but no Spider-Man? You have to think at some rate they have got to move on. Either bring Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield back, they have got to cast another Spider-Man, or decide to go with Miles Morales live action. Eventually, you need a Spider-Man. Peter Parker, Miles, someone. Miguel, shoot, I'll take $20.99 at this point. You need a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man to go up against all of these Spider-Man villains. And when we heard from this original director all the way back, J.C. Chandor, about a year and a half ago, he speculated 2 things. Number one, this could easily work as a 2-part series. So when you hear that Aaron Taylor Johnson's getting locked in for multiple pictures, it could be that it is indeed a 2-part series, but that they would fashion the story, and again, this coming directly from J.C. Chandor, the director, in an interview at a Comic-Con, that they would fashion the story as Kraven's Last Hunt, or at least take major parts from Kraven's Last Hunt into the story. Now, besides me making the joke about Sony calling any character's first movie The Last Anything, the main player in The Last Hunt, besides Kraven, is Spider-Man. And not only Spider-Man, it's Peter Parker Spider-Man. Now that aside, even if they went forward with Miles Morales, you still have to have a Spider-Man in order to do Kraven's Last Hunt. And what's crazier than that is they told us that the movie, at least the first one, if it is a two-part series, is coming out in 2023. That tells me that over the next 24 months, if they're going to do a Kraven's Last Hunt any justice, that we are going to find out who will be taking up the Spider-Man mantle for Sony's Spider-Verse. And yeah, will it intersect with the MCU the way that we've been speculating the whole time? I think that it will, and we're going to talk about that in just a sec. But we might not have Tom Holland as their major Spider-Man. Now, the reason I say we got to talk about that is that some of you may forget or may not have followed Marvel news all the way back about 2 years ago when originally Tyrese Gibson, who's in Morbius, leaked that that film would end up being a part of the MCU in some way. Well, I don't see how it can be and have Tom Holland's Spider-Man going up against Aaron Taylor Johnson, who already played Quicksilver in his universe, but I could see a world in which the multiverse does come into play and allows Sony's Spider-Verse to occasionally cross over with whatever our main MCU continuity is called. No, it's not called 616, or at least not yet. But in that fashion, you can have your own Spider-Man over in Sony. They cross over with the MCU. The MCU is a part of it, as all the cinematic universes are. But then you have Aaron Taylor Johnson playing two different characters, not quite in the same Marvel Cinematic Universe. It really, really, really makes me wonder what Sony is doing and what their plan is going forward. But we argued that the third installment of Venom would most likely be Maximum Carnage, in which case they'd need Peter Parker to go ahead and team up with Eddie Brock's Venom in the first place. And now you've got a Kraven film. It could be that we're going to see this very soon, guys. Peter Parker in the Sony MCU, sort of crossover verse, but whoever they choose to bring back. And I have a sneaking suspicion it might just be Tobey Maguire. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. First of all, if they're going for Miles Morales, who would you cast? Second of all, if it's not going to be Miles or Tobey or Andrew, how do you see this working out? And do you think, for 1 second, that Sony has the audacity to put Tom Holland's Peter Parker in that Kraven Last Hunt film and not explain at all why Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing Kraven, except was also in the MCU as Wanda's brother? I cannot believe they would do that, and I don't think they're going to. That's why I think it really opens the door to someone like Tobey Maguire, or even moving forward with someone like Miles Morales. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 now at 900,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions every Friday while the shows are live, and a brand new giveaway when Loki goes live. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit that subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content here at the channel, as always, is to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on. And if you appreciated today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me with original music on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, wherever you get your original music, under the name Allfires. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel. I sincerely appreciate it, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.